Hello, and welcome to the Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Tony. I am with my friend and colleague, Justin.
Hello.
There he is.
Here I am.
Today we're going to talk about, well, like every other podcast on the planet, Red Dead Redemption 2, trailer number 2.
Yep.
We also have some news about some movies and some video games and some things that are happening in the world. With those things,
We will speak.
yeah, and maybe some surprises along the way that we just haven't thought of yet.
Yeah, we're gonna.
We always get sidetracked. Sidetracked. We get sidetracked.
Protracted.
Like with the pronunciation of how you say sidetracked. Sidetracked.
Theme song.
Anyway.
Underpaid Gamers is the official podcast of underpaidgamers.com. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, all podcast services that I've ever found.
Such as?
SoundCloud, iTunes,
and Google Play
Stitcher,
Music.
Google Play Music.
That's enough.
Podcast Addict.
That's a good amount of recommendations.
There's a lot of them. Yeah,
at
so we're...
UP Gamers at UP Gamers Podcast on Twitter.
Yeah, thank you. And we're on Twitch.
Facebook? YouTube?
I did say Facebook. Instagram.
Instagram?
I don't think I said
I
Instagram.
think that's it. I think
All
that's
right.
everything.
So, what would you like to
Why don't
speak
you
of
start us off
first?
this week?
All right, I'll start us off.
You got any news over there?
So, Nintendo, they released something recently.
Okay, I guess it's not important for me to know who that is.
You don't know who Nintendo is? What century do you live in?
Nintendo is that one video game company that makes all the video games, right?
Yeah, like they make things like Final Fantasy and
They make the Nintendo.
Call of Duty and stuff, right?
I see.
No! Nintendo. Japan's premier.
You know Nintendo started in the 1800s?
What?
It's over 100 years old.
No way.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Dude,
Keep talking about your thing.
Okay. We're going to get a history of Nintendo here soon. What I was trying to say was Nintendo recently released a digital console. And what I mean by that is a small little version of their old SNES console.
September 23rd, 1889. 127 years old.
What did they make in 1889?
I don't know.
What was the original
I'm not
thing?
there yet.
Keep looking it up. They've released this smaller version of the console that has digitally loaded SNES games. The biggest draw being an unreleased game on the original console, Star Fox 2. What?
They originally made playing cards.
Interesting.
Hanafuda playing cards. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
It's probably a translation from Japanese.
I would guess so.
Okay, keep going about your Fox.
Star Fox 2 was never released. Now they've released it. So that was like one of the biggest draws for it.
What is that?
News alert. Some dude, don't know who, has reported to have...
What? Time out. Nintendo fact.
Oh my gosh, what do you got?
This is going to blow your mind. Okay.
Okay.
This is just on the first page of Wikipedia, so who knows how on it. Whatever.
Just go.
Wikipedia's
Just go.
pretty reliable.
Most of the time.
Okay. So, founded on September 23rd, 1889, it was originally produced handmade Hanafuda playing cards. By 1963, the company had tried several small businesses such as cab services and love hotels. I'm reading this, I'm like, what? What is a love hotel? Maybe that means something different in Japan than what I think it means.
Yeah, maybe.
So I click on that because it's a blue link.
Sure.
And it says, a love hotel is a type of short-stay hotel found around the world operated primarily for the purposes of allowing guests privacy for sexual activities.
Oh boy, Nintendo.
Get it, Nintendo?
Woof, I thought they were family friendly. That doesn't seem very family
I
friendly.
don't even think they have an M-rated game.
That's so weird.
Other than Metroid, The Other M.
That's weird.
Yeah. That was 50 years ago, 1963.
That's crazy.
All right.
Regardless, back to the thing. Some dude took his console that he just got from Nintendo, ripped Star Fox 2 off of it, and apparently has been printing the game onto old cartridges for the original system and has been selling them for people who haven't bought the new one but have the old one to play Star Fox 2.
Word.
So, interesting. Read that on Kotaku, so that's my source. So go check that out if you want to know more than what I just told you. But that just blows my mind that somebody's already doing that, and it's only been out for like a little bit. Also, I'm sure Nintendo is very upset about this. They usually get upset about pretty much anything. Also, understandably so, since this is their intellectual property.
You know what? Maybe they should just go back to their love hotels. All right, Nintendo.
Yeah, and playing cards. Get back to your roots, man.
That's so funny. I have some news about Nintendo.
What do you got?
So Nintendo bans streaming on YouTube. Just Nintendo games, essentially. Nintendo's always very peculiar about their brand.
Yeah.
You don't need to click on that. I already have it memorized.
Well, I didn't know if...
Essentially, they said,
Okay.
If you're a Nintendo creator, so they have a Nintendo creator program, which is if you're a person with them, you can upload Nintendo games onto the YouTube channel, and then all that revenue goes to Nintendo. And then they say, all right, you get like 40% of this.
Okay.
So Nintendo makes 60% off what you make on YouTube, and they just kind of kick back a little bit to you. But you have to be one of the Nintendo
Partners, right? Like a partnered creator.
To upload and monetize videos on YouTube.
Interesting.
Because Nintendo's weird like that.
They're very particular.
And then they said you can't stream on YouTube. Like we just
Can you stream on Twitch?
I think so. I don't know. I know the Breath of the Wild was streaming on Twitch all the time.
It was.
But on Twitch, you don't get money for like a video.
That's
right?
true. You get tips.
You get tips and you get subscribers, and it's not necessarily based on one game. But on YouTube, you get very limited money from a video. But Nintendo's all about not using their brand for anything. What I really want to find is a Nintendo Love Hotel. This is so new to me.
Tony, you're married. You should probably talk to your wife about that.
Do you even think they have any? I want to look them up.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
All right, you're gonna have to do the whole rest of the podcast by yourself now.
Yeah, you're real sidetracked now.
Down.
That's all right. You're down and out. All right, Men in Black.
I've heard of them.
Fun franchise.
Yeah.
Aliens. Guys wearing black suits, shooting aliens in the face, hiding among us. Will Smith.
Jones.
Elvis is still alive, apparently.
Of course.
Cars that can drive on the top of a tunnel. Time travel.
Is this going into? Are you just?
I'm going through the themes of Men in Black. I'm going through the themes. They are releasing a new movie in the franchise, and it will apparently not have any of the original actors in it. The idea being to expand the franchise beyond those actors. The team that wrote Iron Man is writing this one.
Iron Man 2008?
Yes. And we'll see how it is. They announced it this week. Sony did. So, interesting. Men in Black. So if you like it, maybe you'll like this. So.
Nintendo also made Instant Rice. Instant Rice branded.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Not even a little bit. So, what have you been playing recently, Tony? What have you been getting into?
Love hotels, I guess.
Well, I've been playing Destiny too.
Okay.
Still playing it. Some good stuff. I'm at 295 for all those people who know.
All right, I get it.
Know
I'm
what I'm talking
done.
About.
Stop boring our listeners. I'll do something else now.
You know, you were looking at all that stuff. I was just going to start talking about Destiny.
This just came out of nowhere. This was I never knew this about Nintendo. They have a dark side. Kind of.
Maybe. Yeah. 1800s, come on.
That was until 1965. That was 1960s. That was 50 years ago.
Look, you really can't blame anybody for anything that happened before video games came out. Come on. What do they do for fun?
Love hotels. What do you mean? Nintendo answered that question for you.
Playing cards and then love hotels.
Probably those tarot cards that are all racy.
And weird.
I have been playing the Call of Duty World War II beta. Came out again, except this time on PC.
Oh. So, tell me your experience on PC versus your experience on PS4.
You know, that's a good question. I could do that because I have played both on PS4 and PC.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
We played it together on PS4, not on PC. I betrayed you.
Yeah, what a jerk. So I played it, and it's fun. It's all the. It seems like the things. Okay, so I'm not a big PC gamer. This is the first-person shooter I've ever played on PC. So I'm really bad at it, as you'd expect. I was playing it last night. I'm like, I feel like what my dad would feel like playing a video game. Like, that's the kind of... Like, you ever try to teach your parents how to play video games?
Yeah, I've tried.
I don't know what these buttons do without looking down at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. It's hard for me because you aim with right click and you shoot with left click. It's hard for me to do that independently of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to aim and then shoot and then let go of one without the other, I just can't do
Just
that.
so you haven't trained yourself yet.
Yeah. Surprisingly, they have made some map adjustments from the PS4 version.
Really?
There was that map Aachen.
Aachen?
Yeah, whatever.
Aachen, yeah.
It was released midway through the PS4 and Xbox beta, and a lot of people complained that it was too open, so they put up some walls. Now you can't run through the middle much. There's a couple places you can't go through.
Like sight lines are different.
Yeah, that's really the only major notice I different. They actually just took out a couple of entryways on that level.
Yeah,
I haven't noticed a lot of other things with other levels. I suck real bad. As I mentioned once before.
You told me you did good the last time you played.
I did do well the last game I played this morning. I'm like, why am I so bad at this? And I thought my computer was like chugging a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's because when the game loads, so I was like, you want to optimize for PC? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do what's best for my PC.
Yeah.
Turns out that's not what's best for my PC.
No, it maxes it out.
Yeah, that's what it did. So I had to go in and change all the settings down from ultra down to high down to medium.
Did you tell the difference between ultra and medium?
I don't know.
Could you tell the difference between ultra and the PS4 experience?
Hardly. I haven't been paying attention.
Okay.
Like, I'm not looking that much at the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not that... I can't tell.
You couldn't tell?
Yeah.
All right, fair
I
enough.
didn't pay that much attention. I was more like, I want to get in here and kill people.
Okay.
I was a little disappointed with the ultra settings because when you play the beta, when you first log in, it takes you through like the social area. It's like, this is where you can enlist in 7 different things.
Yeah.
And that was on ultra settings. I'm like, this doesn't look very good at all. But I got into the game and it was chugging a little bit. It says it's playing at 80 frames a second.
That's a lot of frames.
But I can't tell because it's
Did it feel smoother?
No, it's so... PC gaming is so hard because you have to change all the settings to make sure that your PC runs it just fine. I sent you a Snapchat that you never responded to. Luckily, I also
91%
sent it to
was fine.
your friend, Argy Learson.
Argy Learson.
And he responded with some beneficial statements.
Yeah.
So thanks to him. No thanks to you.
Yep.
I
was playing Destiny.
I always have my task manager up when I'm playing PC games because I'm like, I don't want to burn my PC up.
Sure.
So it was running at like...
It will turn itself off if it thinks it's going to overheat.
But I don't want to like...
This happened.
Put it through undue stress.
I was playing Haken. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game before.
I've heard of it.
I was playing Haken, and then my computer shut off, and I thought I broke it. And I was like... and I was in the middle of like a kill streak. I was so mad.
You're literally on fire.
I had to take my PC tower outside, open up the side, shake all the dust out, and then use one of those blowy things.
Yeah.
And blow it all out while holding it over my deck.
Your deck?
It was a long... I had so much dust in there. I was like, how did I get so much dust? It was crazy. It blew my mind.
My PC is still...
Looking good, probably.
Not even a year old.
Yeah.
So, my task manager was at 91%.
Yeah.
And that was really the only thing I had open was Call of Duty and Discord, even though I wasn't using it.
Sure.
And the task manager, so I'm like... 91% is kind of this, and I expected it to run smoother. I just feel like it's not. I don't know if it's just because I'm not used to that. I need to go back and fiddle with the settings. Unfortunately, it's a beta, so they don't have all the settings available as far as I know.
Yeah, it's not optimized.
There's also
either.
like 30 different settings, and I don't know 29 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean, so I just mess with things until I feel like it's better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten it to a point where now it's playable. I was able to play it on the max settings.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively fine, but again, my PC was at 91%, so I kicked it down to medium graphic settings and some things.
Was it lagging at all at Ultra?
Kind of a little bit, but I don't know if that was my computer or if that was just beta access.
Beta, yeah. I mean, it could be a combination.
It's really
both.
hard to tell.
Yeah.
And every once they don't have an actual number of ping, but they have the bars like you in Call of Duty.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, or 4. Every game I played has been like 3 bars,
Mm-hmm.
but I also think that's kind of just beta.
Yeah, it could be.
So it's really hard to tell. My movement is awful, atrocious. I don't know how to do this. I still don't know what half the buttons do. You can go to settings, of course, and see what all the key bindings are, but I'm not bothered to do that. I know how to point and shoot. I can't.
Barely.
Because there's
on a PC.
There's no aim assist, which
makes it a little difficult.
Makes it more difficult than what I'm used to.
Yeah. I mean, it's all based off what you're used to.
Right.
You know,
I'm much better on PS4, and I'm definitely still going to play it on that because that's where all my friends are. And it turns out my PC friends just don't want to play with me.
Okay, to be fair, you gave me like 5 minutes warning, and my internet is really slow.
Yeah, I played for like all night. What else? There was it's a little different just from the PS4 version. I'm interested to see what the full game is going to be like. I'm also interested to see if they're going to add anything to the PC beta.
Yeah.
Because Call of Duty's always been about Xbox and PS4, and PC, from what I've read, is always just like they always forget about us, or it's just like it's the side show for Call of Duty and maybe Battlefield. I don't know.
Yeah, some of the big console.
So obviously, Call of Duty is king on console. So I'll be interested to see if they put in as much effort into the beta for PC as they did to the PS4, which is adding a new level cap, adding new maps, things like that.
Yeah.
They did release it a day early, which was nice. So they released it on Thursday instead of Friday. There is interesting, I mean, like most games on PC, for those of you that don't know, i.e. me, there is a chat functionality where you just press T and you can chat to people.
That's true.
I don't know how to mute that, but there are some angry people playing on PC.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I always thought that PC players would be older.
Or classy.
Not necessarily classier, but just older than like the 12-year-olds on console. You know how easy it is to buy a 12-year-old an Xbox 360? It's like $200, $60 for the game. Here you go, kid. You can play this now. Right. A PC to play this game is like $600, maybe.
More expensive.
So it's more expensive. So I always feel like the barrier to entry is for an older audience. Well, there's a guy on there that's just like, man, I effing hate this game. And it's a beta, so I type back to him because I'm like that.
You were feeling it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I mean, he was killing me a lot. Everybody was, because I suck. But I'm like, so why are you playing it? He's like, shut the F up. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Internet, yeah.
Why did you say you'd hate it while you're still playing it? I don't know. I don't understand. I just expected these people to be older, and I can't tell that they are. They still seem like they're 12 years old.
It's quite possible.
We want us an old curmudgeon.
You just gotta remember that the internet is full of people. And that's it.
I did tell someone he sucks, though.
Did you?
He got mad.
Did he?
So...
How many exclamation points did you use?
None. Said, you suck. Something like that.
Oh, nice.
Or he was like, man, my team sucks. And I looked at the scoreboard. He was like, 10 and 30.
Right.
Like, what do you mean your team sucks? It's your fault, dude.
I'm sure you really like that.
He's like, F off.
F off, D.
But, okay, so on PC you can have a microphone so you can talk to people through your mic, or you can type to them.
Sure.
So there's much more easier ways of communication through typing. So it seems like that happens much more often. And you can type to
especially when you're dead.
The enemy team.
Mm-hmm. Type to all versus your team?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to type to my own team. I just know how to type to all.
There's a way to do it. I mean, there has been historically.
I'm sure there is, but again, I don't know how to. It's fun to play that. I'm playing that instead of Destiny because I'm bored with Destiny. I have a Hunter that's at 296 and a Warlock that could probably be around the same light level.
Sure.
We have a group of people.
We do.
You and I. And it's similar to the same group we had 3 years ago, except now we're 3 years older, and all of us are doing different things.
It's true.
So we can never get together to do Nightfalls. We can never get together to do raids.
Oh, it's just been a lot harder, too.
It's definitely been a lot harder, which means that all the fun stuff that happens in Destiny is, like, over. Like, you still have the daily quests and the weekly quests, but you can't do... Like, I could do a Nightfall by myself.
I still want to do the raid, but
right.
we haven't done it yet, and it's getting real difficult to get everybody on at the same time.
That's true. It's super hard to do that, but also, not only is it hard to get everybody on, it's hard to get everybody on for a long amount of time for them to stick around, but also, we have to have a certain skill level to get past these stupid things on the raid, and we just haven't been able to get past the dogs.
Right. It's true.
And we don't even know what's after the dogs.
We don't.
So... I have two characters, a Hunter and a Warlock. I don't necessarily want to make a Titan. I've already done all the side missions with my Warlock. I don't want to go back and do it with my Hunter.
Right.
So I just feel like it's...
You've ran out of things to do.
The half-life of Destiny 2 was much shorter than the half-life of Destiny 1. Because Destiny 1 I played for so long, I'm like, this is so cool, everything's different, I have a chance to run for this, I can go for that, I can do for this, I can do that.
Yeah, sure.
And Destiny 2, I'm just like, meh. I don't know what else there is. Now, I know that you're still excited about playing it.
Yeah.
You have been able to play it less than I've been able to play it.
Yeah.
So you haven't been able to...
I played a lot the week it came out. And then, since then, it's been very sporadic. Where it's been like, I've been able to play one night for like a couple hours. And then it's like three nights, and then I get to play again. and it hasn't been like the first week I got to play a lot, and then since that first week I've been pretty busy at work and with other stuff in life, and so I just haven't had as much time as others have to pour into it. Other people in our clan, not just you.
And almost everybody in our clan just loves playing PvE. Like, you kidding me? Because I'm all about the PvP.
I played so much PvP yesterday. You should have been on. Oh wait, PC beta.
I was on Discord. You just didn't talk to me.
That's true.
So now Trials of the 9 is really fun, weekend only. So right now, technically, because we're recording on the weekend. But it's only Friday through Monday, and last week none of us could play, or none of you guys would play with me because of scheduling.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even in the state.
Some people don't even like to play.
Sure.
That because it's high skill.
Last time we did it together, I thought everyone had a lot of fun.
Right. I did too, because we would sing the Cantina Band song every time we won a round.
That's true.
And that was a lot of fun.
And we all danced. It was good. Good times.
And we even got your brother to play, and he hates PvP.
But he did well too. I don't know.
He did. So maybe we convince him to do more. Now, I played with 3 random guys that I got on the Destiny app.
Yeah.
And we got 7 wins.
Did
with
you?
1 loss.
Did you?
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to try to go flawless if I can ever get back on with him again. Like, I friend requested 2 of them.
Oh, cool.
Did
you recruit them into the clan?
Well, here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
I would have if my mic was connected. See, we play games and discuss things through Discord, so that way, when I'm playing the Call of Duty beta on the PC and Justin's playing the Destiny 2 on the PS4, we can all get in the same Discord channel and chat with each other, even though we're playing on different systems, although we have not experienced that yet.
Whoa. We've done it before.
But
you're mad about Discord, last night.
Which means that when someone's on the party chat on PS4, my mic isn't connected.
Right.
Well,
and part of that too is due to like recording stuff.
The reason we set up Discord was one of our old friends, the Red Herring, introduced it to me. I'm like, this is great because I can record now and I don't have to worry about audio mix-ups with Elgato and stuff like that. Now my PS4 Gold wireless headset, left side has broken, and I tried to use it the other day when I was playing with them, and it just wouldn't pick up. So I'm like, well, I can't do this at all. It doesn't even work wirelessly anymore. So I always had to have it plugged in. So they were in a party chat. The 3 of them were in party chat, and I was in there just listening to them. I wasn't even communicating.
Yeah.
And somehow we still got 7 wins with only 1 loss.
That's pretty impressive.
In Trials of the 9.
That's pretty good.
These guys are sick. Like, these guys...
They know what they're doing.
They just have a good playstyle that matched well with me. Because, like... I don't know how to say this without coming off, like, super hot-headed or super braggy or whatever.
Okay.
But I was on top of our team. And I think that we all played really well together, and we had complementary styles where, even though I wasn't talking, there would always be 2 guys that went this way, 2 guys that went that way, and then we would always like combine and mesh and do things like that. We'd plant the bomb or whatever really quickly. We'd do all those other things. It was it was really fun, and by the end of it, they're like, we were communicating with each other by they would ask me a question, and I would nod or I would shake my head in game.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And like, man, the only hero, who's me, like, hero, you're really good. Like, will you play with us again next weekend? I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, it was super fun. 1, for me to be able to play competitively, which is what I like to do, and 2, for me to be good.
Yeah.
And be better than some people, either on my team or definitely the other team.
Yeah.
Like, there's one game. There's a maximum of 11 rounds, and there's a potential for 4 kills each round.
Yeah.
Like, one game I had like 27 kills. Like, I just feel like they benefited my playstyle really well. Not intentionally from them. I think it's just it was 2 guys, and then they picked up a random, and they picked up me. So 2 guys and 2 randoms. The 2 guys were together.
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of just clicked together, even though there was no communication.
Sure.
It was really nice. As far as asking them to be in my clan, they were all talking about it at the end when we were at the lighthouse or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And there was the 2 guys that were together, like, yeah, we're in this clan. There's like us and maybe one other guy. We really don't like it. And the other rando was like, you guys should join my clan.
No!
There's a couple people here, and we're at rank 3 right now. And the 2 first guys were like, yeah, that's a really good idea. I'm like, and if I had my mic, I'm like, you should all join our clan because we're almost at rank 3. We always have people that are playing.
That's true. And almost nightly, we have at least a couple people playing.
And the original 2 guys that invited everybody had already gotten max gear from the raid. So those would be 2 guys good for the raid that we need help with.
That's true.
But I didn't have my mic on. So I'll have to figure something out. I can plug my microphone into the PS4 through USB. But then that takes all the audio from the PS4 into the microphone instead of to the Elgato, which is where it needs to be for recording purposes.
Yeah.
So I had fun playing Trials. I would have more fun playing the raid, except it just seems so difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
If there's a way to get around the dogs, like, I think there's 3 trials you do, and then you can go fight the final boss. If we can do the first 2 first and get treasure chests, and then move on to dogs, maybe people would be better for it. But it's just so hard for us to have people that can play for a set amount of time.
Yeah, it's true.
And then also not run around and get caught by the dogs.
Look, here's the thing. Maybe we bring in people who know what they're doing to help us with it. Because at this point, it's been like weeks since the raid came out. 2 weeks at least. So maybe it's time that we bring somebody who knows what they're doing.
Toph knows what he's doing.
No, he doesn't. He hasn't got past dogs before.
Oh, I guess that's true.
I asked him last time. So.
Yeah, but that means that somebody can't play with us.
We can't get everybody on at the same time anyways.
I know. It's just...
Because, I mean, that's where I'm at. It's like, I know some people are probably going to want to move on soon to another game. And, like, I want to experience it with them, but if they're going to move on, I still want to play Destiny 2. Like, I'm really still into Destiny 2.
It's almost October. I'm still good until November. And then I'm signing off of Destiny. For the most part. Like, the factions just came out, right?
Sure.
And there's not really a whole reason to do those things. I mean, you can get... I got some good weapons from them, which is nice that they introduced these new weapons. I'm still waiting for the weapons that are better than exotics. I still think that that's going to be part of the game. I just don't know when it's going to come out. Like, exotic can't be the max anymore because they just give them to you left and right.
It's true.
Like, there's no demand for these anymore because the supply's so high.
Right. Legendaries you get all the time.
That's right.
They used to be like, legendary, I got excited. Now I'm like, legendary, that's like the only thing that's useful that's not an exotic.
Yeah.
Like, everything else is stupid.
So hopefully we'll be getting something better than exotic.
We'll see.
Also, I was thinking, the Destiny story, not very good.
It's very basic.
Just the story in general, I'm just like, this is just kind of to get... Like, as far as first-person shooter stories go, like, especially within, like, the last couple of years, with even 2016 with, like, Doom, Call of Duty... Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I heard, had a great story. I just never played it. Battlefield 1 had incredible stories.
Oh, yeah. We love that. Eat that up. Call of Duty Big Red 1.
Big Red 2?
Big Red 2.
Big Red 1?
Didn't you
Call
love
of Duty
that
2 Big Red 1?
Yeah. Wasn't it like your favorite one?
Yeah, because until Brooklyn died at the freaking end, he was on Trailer Fire, he was my favorite character.
I knew I was going to get you with that. That's some good stuff.
If you've listened to our podcast for the past 2 years, you have heard me go off about how I loved Brooklyn, and then he went and died, and I was like, 11 years old.
There's some definite recurring themes in our podcast.
I was not prepared for that kind of loss.
If you keep up with it. Brooklyn, no!
So what are we talking about? Call of Duty World War 2 beta on
Destiny
PC?
2, I don't know.
Join our clan on Destiny 2, Underpaid Gamers.
We'd love to have you.
It's open. We have 90 more spots open.
Yeah, I think we have...
And we're almost at rank 3.
I think we have 12 people, maybe.
That sounds more than I expect.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11.
Oh, 11. You could be the 12th.
You could be number 12. Come join us.
You could be the 12th man.
That's true. So...
You know what I think it's time for?
I think it's time for the big thing.
Yeah. Where is Destiny on Twitch? Give me your guess.
Original Destiny or Destiny 2?
I think we have to move on to Destiny 2 now. Because original Destiny is like...
So far down now.
285 or lower.
We actually looked it up last week.
So what's your guess?
I
have not looked yet.
12.
You think Destiny 2 is number 12?
Yeah, because we need a 12th person in our clan.
It's
now
Friday.
It's 12
I think Destiny 2 is number 7.
Go for it.
Gotta find it.
We gotta figure this out.
This is a classic. Destiny 2 is number 6! Gosh dang it.
You win.
Above Dota 2, which is number
win.
7. And then Fortnite, which is number 8. Now, I don't remember us talking that much about Fortnite. Did we talk about it last week?
PUBG versus Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Well, turns out it's working out for Fortnite in their favor.
Yeah, all this publicity, duh.
Yeah, and also Fortnite's like 8th on Twitch right now, when Fortnite was like almost dead. I mean, it's still in early access, so it's not even released yet.
Right,
Either
so can it be
PUBG
dead
or
before it's
Fortnite.
even released?
Well, definitely was not top 10 on Twitch.
That's
But
true.
now PUBG came out, and you can play Fortnite on your PS4. I have downloaded it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want to play this. Because I haven't gotten around to it yet. So now there's a PUBG-style game on PS4 and Xbox that people can play. I think it's on Xbox.
Yeah.
Where they don't need just a $30... And it's free. And you don't need to pay $30 to play on PC. You don't need to have a great PC to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's killing it right now. I mean, it's in early access. Plus, there's a story mode and like a PvE.
So there's more content.
Yeah, so there's more content than just PUBG. But it's on there.
Interesting. Where's PUBG? Number 2?
Gosh dang, I already put it away. You guess number 2, I'm guessing number 3. Fill the air while I look. It's number 1.
I was closer, I win.
And then Cuphead is number 2, but Cuphead just came out.
Yep.
And then Counter-Strike is number 3. So Dota 2, I always like to bring up Optic Gaming.
You do.
Because I like Optic Gaming.
They're your people.
They're my people. They're not my favorite esports team anymore.
But you still follow them.
I still follow them on YouTube. I don't think I follow them on Twitter, though. I think I follow them, but I think they're muted. I follow a lot of people on our Twitter.
Yeah.
And I mute, like, all of them because I really just want that to be, like, a news feed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I know what's going on with the industry. Sure. I don't care what Britney Spears is doing. But yes, I follow her. Anyways, Optic Gaming introduced 2 new teams. An Overwatch team, which is interesting. They announced that a couple weeks ago. And then a Dota 2 team, which is actually the first team that they have that is not a first-person shooter since they started, like, 20 years ago.
Yeah. I like it.
So I like Optic enough. I don't know if I like them enough to learn how to play Dota so I can spectate them playing Dota.
Yeah.
Because they
I'm
also
really
have,
not into MOBAs.
Yeah. They also have a Gears of War team, and I just could not care.
At all.
Could
about
not care
Gears.
any less about Gears.
Yeah, you know, everyone was really about that game, especially when it first came out.
Like Gears 2.
Gears 2 was huge. I had so many friends that were into it. I played it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it.
Now, do you think that was just because Xbox was so huge that people were like, I'm going to play Gears because it's on Xbox to have this? Like, do you think if it was cross-platform, it would have been as big?
Probably. I mean, I think there's like an appeal to it. Like, the grittiness of it and...
The chainsaw gun?
The chainsaw gun.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And that was fun. I mean, that part of it was. I just never got into the multiplayer aspect of it that everyone else did. So, yeah.
It's a third person. It's like a third person fast paced shooter. I just couldn't get into it. I don't even know how it works. I think I played it once. And I'm like, nope, can't do it. What else are we talking about? More love hotels.
No, playing cards.
SAG After Strike ended.
So you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, we covered this last year when it kind of first started.
That was a long time ago.
This was the voice actor strike. Has been resolved.
Finally.
Okay, this is not the right page. This is the page about Nintendo. Okay, so SAG-AFTRA, this is directly from the SAG-AFTRA page. SAG-AFTRA is, again, voice actors. It's a voice actor union. Essentially, they first started, they said that they were having some workplace grievances where they'd have to work long hours. They didn't feel like they were getting compensated for it completely. A lot of times they would
have terrible hours, their voices would get injured, things
like that. They would sometimes audition for roles that didn't know what game that was for, which kind of makes sense to me.
Just lack transparency.
Yeah. So, SAG-AFTRA has reached an agreement to end the strike against 11 video game companies that has been waged since October 21st, 2016. I'm reading this from the website.
Yeah.
The terms of the tentative agreement, which was reached early Saturday morning, include a new bonus structure that provides an additional payment for 2 performers. The bonus payment, which is due no later than the release of the date of the game, is based on the number of sessions worked on each game, beginning with $75 payment on the first session and totaling to a $2,100 after 10 sessions worked. So it seems like it increases the more sessions you have.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting to me, just that whole front page, because I don't care much about anything after this. It was like 16 other paragraphs. I'm not going to remember.
Sure.
It seems like you get paid $75 for the first session, and then it goes all the way up to $2,100 after 10 sessions. I assume that's a bonus on top of your regular pay. So what happens after, like, session 11? Do you just not get paid after that?
No,
Like,
I'm sure you still get paid.
not get the
Probably
bonus?
the normal rate.
You get that, but do you not get the bonus?
I don't know. You might.
Also, this brings to question now. This is a large. I think this is a big topic for just unions in general that started back with the coal miners, but they always ask for better pay.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like they're still doing the same work. So then the question is, you can still do this dangerous work. How much should I pay you for you to shut up about it? It seems kind of like, well, that's the agreement that they reached to here, because it doesn't seem like their hours have been changed or any. From what I read,
work conditions.
any work conditions have changed. It's just we get paid more. It's just like, all right, so you brought up all this stuff about your voice hurting and these long hours, and so now if I just give you more money, you'll shut up about it?
Yep.
That's kind of how I'm reading that.
Yep. That way they can pay for doctors to fix their voices.
I guess so.
I don't know.
That's not how all unions work, but that's kind of how strikes work in general.
I mean, that's the basic premise of a union, is to get better conditions or better deals.
A lot of times, it used to be better conditions. It was based off of better conditions.
I mean, it was conditions and pay. Both.
But this just seems like conditions haven't changed. Now they just get paid more.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't read all the paragraphs.
Yeah, and who's going to? Not me. You can if you want.
No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's what I thought.
So last week we talked about something.
What was that? Remind me.
It was an announcement about an announcement.
Oh my
We announced an announcement.
We announced an announcement.
We announced an announcement that somebody else said they were going to announce. Namely Rockstar.
They hadn't announced.
Which they hadn't announced yet. Namely Rockstar. The video game company.
Okay.
Rockstar.
Not John Bon Jovi.
Not John Bon Jovi. Not...
Is Bon Jovi 2 words? Is that like a hyphenated last name? I know Bon Jovi's 2 words.
Yes. 2 words. No hyphen.
But is it like Vanderbilt? Like, is Bon Jovi his last name, or is like Bon his middle name? And Jovi his last name?
That's a good question.
John Jovi? Jovi, comma John? Or is it Bon Jovi, comma John?
John Bon Jovi? That's a good question. I have no idea.
I'm not going to look it up. I just think about it.
Some of the things you wonder about, you know? Bon Jovi.
We have a lot of younger listeners with this podcast, and I would be not impressed. I would expect them to not know who John Bon Jovi is.
I think music literacy is pretty high when it comes to, like, rock bands. Mostly because of Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Yeah, but those came out so long ago.
Families still have those, though.
Yeah, like my grandma sells a Wii. I mean, my grandma never had a Wii. But in general, people's grandmothers still have a Wii.
Yeah, they still have Wii's. Getting back to the topic that we were going to introduce here, Rockstar announced an announcement, which happened to be what I believe you predicted, which was what everyone else was thinking, which was
yeah, thanks for that.
Red Dead Redemption 2, we're going to get information. So...
What year do you think Rock Band came out in?
2007.
Almost. 2009.
I was close. Guitar Hero, 2007.
I'm looking at that.
Because Rock Band came out after Guitar Hero did.
2 years after?
It might be 2005.
4 years after?
Yeah.
Guitar Hero... Seriously? Just tell me. Just tell me! I hate this. 2006. Wait! Its first entry in the Guitar Hero series, Guitar Hero, was released on November 8, 2005 in North America.
Crushed it!
April 2006 in Europe.
This is me giving myself a high five. Proud of myself. That's
4 years after Rock Band came out.
I remember it was like Guitar Hero came out and everyone was like obsessed with it. And then Guitar Hero 2 came out and everyone was even better.
Yeah, and then Rock Band.
Was like, hey guys, whole band. And then some the hardcore people were like, yeah,
I want to play the drums.
And then some people were like, well, I'm like kind of done with this whole genre.
I think Rock Band came out at a good time where it was still hyped. Guitar Hero 3 came out around the same time, and then after that it just kind of fell off. I think Rock Band 2 was kind of the big thing, the last big thing, and after that it just went down.
Yeah. Because it definitely fell apart. Because they just came out with so many different ones, and it's like all this DLC for
Rock
new songs.
Band, the Beatles, and I hate the Beatles.
Right. There's just a lot. And I know that there's still people...
Rock Band, Aerosmith.
It's still a niche. Still a niche. There's still people who love playing those games. I get it. But the hype isn't there.
No, I don't get it.
When I was in, what was it, middle school, Dance Dance Revolution was huge.
DDR? I don't think I've ever played
DDR. With the pad, with the PS2, plug it in, boom, you're dancing. That was fun.
2005 is when that came out, so I would have been in middle school when Guitar Hero came out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because we're in the same grade.
Oh, yeah. We're like almost the same age.
6 months apart.
It's true.
Twinsies.
Funsies. Hey, y'all.
So you're jabbering on about some game?
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been a long week, man. We're all over the place.
So tell me more about Red Dead Redemption 2.
I don't know. Some trailer came out, man. Trailer came out. It's like a prequel, but it's a sequel. There's cowboys with guns.
You're struggling.
It is basically Grand Theft Auto in the West in 1900.
Okay, 1911, I think.
1911 was the original game.
1900's in.
We're thinking, at least the IGN analysis said probably 1890, because one of the characters looks a lot younger.
Yeah, kind of.
Or like 1900 itself, because he said
they say it's a prequel, which it has to be because the main villain in Red Dead Redemption 1 is no longer alive at the end of the game.
He gone.
But he is alive in this game. So it has to be at least some part of it a prequel.
Yeah.
It could be
flashbacks.
So Arthur Morgan is the main character you play as.
Sure.
Some people are saying it might take place before and after, or maybe just before. There is a scene in the trailer where the Vanderbilt gang, I think it was Vanderlind gang.
It's not built. It's yeah.
Vanderlind gang. Dutch Vanderlind is his gang, and John Marston's part of that gang, and Bill Williamson's part of that gang, and Arthur Morgan's part of that gang, and Javier Escuela is part of that gang.
Yeah.
I know that because I looked it up on Wikipedia before I came here because I came prepared.
Proud of you.
For the listeners out there.
Proud of you.
And somehow I remember that name, even though I looked it up.
It was amazing.
12 hours ago.
It was good.
Anyway, they're all part of that gang. Now, obviously, if you played Red Dead Redemption 1, which came out in 2010, 7 years ago, like us,
yes, I remember.
You know that John Marston is kind of on a crusade to kill everybody in the gang because he got betrayed, and then to make a name, not to make a name for himself, but to save his family.
Sure.
So Dutch dies at the end of that game. He commits suicide, jumping off a cliff. You don't get to shoot him or nothing like that, which I didn't remember until I read that today. But there's no mention really of Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 1. So my thought is the first part of the game, maybe the introduction and kind of maybe the first third or whatever takes place before Red Dead Redemption 1. You're doing all the stuff with Dutch. Arthur Morgan then goes off by himself. And that could happen after Red Dead Redemption.
Sure.
A couple years later, maybe. Because I don't... Or Morgan just dies at the end of this one.
I mean, maybe that's the betrayal.
That they kill him, and then John's like...
Yeah, maybe John gets really close to Arthur, right?
Let's call him Morgan. Morgan's more of a cowboy name than Arthur.
Artie?
Art?
John gets close to Artie, and...
Gosh.
And the betrayal is...
Dutch.
Artie Morgan dies.
No, maybe. Then it kicks off.
Then you see John Marston, and maybe you even switch characters.
To John?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just making this up.
Now, John has that big old scar on his face.
He does.
And Arthur does not. Morgan does not.
Artie?
Art does not. A.M.
Mr. Morgan.
Yeah. He does not. So, I mean, maybe that's like the two of them got betrayed by the gang.
That's true.
And Morgan died, and John Marston got that scar.
That could be it. That could be the end of the game.
And then that would lead directly into Red Dead Redemption 1, essentially.
Yeah.
But that's weird because it's 7 years old.
It is weird.
The graphics are super old.
And does this mean they're going to do like a re-release of that game?
Which they could. That was my initial thought. with us talking about this the last 30 seconds, they would have to remaster Red Dead Redemption 1 that could make a lot of sales off of it.
Yeah. For the people who like 2.
I guess it kind of boggles my mind that this is a sequel/prequel or at all connected to Red Dead Redemption 1.
And not just like a brand new story.
Just not a brand new story, because I feel like you can do so much more with a brand new story.
Yeah.
We had a conversation like this a little bit about the Game of Thrones game a couple weeks ago, where you are tied into a certain amount of things, and the way that GTA 5 and GTA Online is going, there's so much possibility there that you can do whatever you want, because GTA 5 is not connected to any other game in the GTA series for the most part. I mean, there's references to other games in the series, but GTA 4 is in New York City, GTA 5 is in LA, GTA San Andreas is in San Andreas.
Right.
It's all these different places, so there's not a big connection. Liberty City is in Liberty City, which is also a form of New York, but different from GTA 4. But this one is a direct tie-in to Red Dead Redemption 1, which means you're already restricted to some things. Now, obviously, it's Rockstar, and obviously Rockstar is incredible at storytelling, incredible at making these things up.
Yeah, they've been very successful.
So I'm not worried at all. I'm just...
Yeah.
It's interesting, like, how is the online portion of this going to work? Because, of course, there's going to be an online portion.
Yeah.
Not only because GTA Online is incredible and they haven't...
They've been super successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also because Red Dead Redemption 1 had an online portion to it that not a lot of people played.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. It looks cool.
Yeah,
Still,
I mean, I plan on getting
officially
it
a release date of spring of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that brings me to another thought that popped in my head today.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a week ago, if Red Dead Redemption 2 was big enough to dethrone Call of Duty's place in the November time slot, November release schedule. We both kind of agreed that no, Call of Duty would still...
Call of Duty's king.
Kind of beat it there. But now they move it to the spring. How is that going to affect Spider-Man's release? Because I always predicted that Spider-Man was coming out spring of 2018.
That's true.
They haven't announced anything yet.
But if it did, who would win in that fight?
Exactly.
Definitely Red Dead Redemption 2.
Now, is there enough variance between the two games that they wouldn't necessarily be in competing markets? Spider-Man
my initial thought would be no. There's not. I mean, not. My answer is they would compete. I think they would, because at least the Spider-Man games I've played before, which my experience was limited compared to your experience, more limited. There were open world elements to Spider-Man that would make it competing with this game. Also story based, a lot of one player. I think they're competing, and I think Red Dead Redemption 2, at least with gamers, carries more weight than Spider-Man does. Not because Spider-Man is bad, or it's been received as bad. I think it's just because of how much of a premier publisher Rockstar is, and how successful Red Dead Redemption 1 was, coming off of GTA Online.
That's true.
A lot of success, a lot of momentum.
My counter to that, there's also a counter to my own counter in my counter.
There are a lot of counters.
So I'm helping you out here for
it's like we're at Lowe's. All counters! Okay, keep going.
So anyway,
just keep going.
Red Dead Redemption 1 came out 7 years ago, 2010. There is a lot of people that have not played the original game, so I do not necessarily think you can bank off of new customers to buy this game just because they want to play a Red Dead Redemption because they played the original one. Now, I think there are people like us that have played the original one, and they think, man, I can't wait to play the sequel, prequel, second one, whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think you're getting into a new market with this game just because there's so many people that haven't played the first one. Also, I think just the tone of both games is so different from each other that there is a possibility for them not to compete. Red Dead Redemption is going to be a hard M-rated game. There's going to be blood and gore and nudity and cursing and violence and all this other stuff.
And that's going to keep a section of the gamer population out. That's true.
It should. I don't know if it necessarily does. GTA 5 probably didn't, but this should. Whereas Spider-Man is going to be rated teen by Insomniac, who was both Rockstar and Insomniac are incredible developers.
That's true.
Sony has been pushing Spider-Man for quite some time as like an affront for them whereas Rockstar has been doing it by themselves. Now, of course, they can do that because they're Rockstar. The counterpoint to my point is Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be on every console, whereas Spider-Man's only going to be on PS4.
Right.
So are we going, if they are directly competing, are we going to see a higher number, if say there's someone out there, or if we're in a market where you can only buy one game, would there be higher, I would think that there would be higher sales on the Xbox side than on the PS4 side, because some of those PS4 players would then not spend $60 on Red Dead and then spend $60 on Spider-Man.
That's possible.
Which is what Xbox players can't do.
Right, they don't even have the option. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to keep in mind that the average gamer isn't going out and can probably buy both these games at the same time. Most gamers have to choose as they...
Unless you're in high school and you have a job, in which case you can buy whatever the heck you want. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for gas. What are you doing? You got to work for 4 hours a night and then come home and do a little bit of homework you don't even have to do because high school's so freaking easy. And you do it again, and then you get a paycheck for like $120. That's 2 games.
That's true.
So stop complaining about your life, high schoolers.
Well, that happened.
You know who you are. If you're grades 9 through 12, you're in high school. You know who you are.
That's true. They can self-identify. Yeah, I think you make a good point. Definitely, this game on Xbox might be more successful than the game on PlayStation. But I think, again, it's because they're competing. And they're not... I think there are probably definitely sections of the market. There's sections of people who are going to buy Spider-Man who they're not going to buy Red Dead Redemption 2 because, A, they've never heard of Red Dead anything because they're too young.
Yeah.
B, they know and recognize Spider-Man and are excited about it. Also, there's going to be people who are limited by their parental controls. So, like, there are a lot of young gamers. That's like a huge subsect of the gaming population. So, a lot of them are limited by what the parents want to do, which I think is a good thing overall. So, I think you're right with your second point. Your counter to your original.
What do you think is has larger recognition?
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar? Because I would say Grand Theft Auto.
Probably. I don't think everyone pays attention to who the publisher is.
Everybody and their mother has heard of Grand Theft Auto.
That's true.
Or some variation of that. They know what Grand Theft Auto is. It's the game that gets blamed for all the killings that happen.
Right, every crazy teenager.
It's always about Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's true.
Not everybody pays attention to publishers. Not everybody... So what I'm saying is, if Rockstar is making a new game, and it's not GTA... So the only thing that has to tie that game, Red Dead Redemption 2, to GTA is Rockstar. I feel like they're already missing out on some name recognition just because everyone knows GTA.
That's right.
Not everybody knows Rockstar.
That's easily fixed though in like one ad, like from the beginning, Rockstar, from the people who brought you GTA 5. Like, boom, they just tied it together. But that's true. I think there are people who it's like movies. Like, who have no idea who the directors of the movies are. Like, some people really get into the directors. They're like, oh, I love this director. I'm going to watch all his movies. Or her movies. And
David Fincher.
Huh?
David Fincher.
James Cameron.
No.
Steven Spielberg. George Lucas. Christopher Nolan.
I've seen a lot of his.
You can get behind Nolan.
I can get behind Nolan.
You can get behind Nolan. Stanley Cooper.
Stanley Cooper?
Shut up, he's an actor.
Stanley Kubrick?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I have seen a lot of his films as well. What are you saying?
There are people who don't go deep into anything. They like to experience the game or the movie or the medium, and then they don't know who made it. And so I think you're right. You got some validity in what you said, because there are some movies that I'm like, I have no idea who directed this, nor do I care who directed this. There are video games. Until we started doing the podcast, I really didn't pay that much attention to the publishers. Like, I knew a couple publishers because they had catchy intros like, EA, it's in the game.
Neversoft. Tony Hawk Pro Skater always had the eyeball flopping around and the thing would go through it. No.
I've
never
remember that.
Bought out for so long ago.
The only one that I knew probably before...
Peggy, 18.
before the podcast would be EA as a publisher. Squaresoft was my original. Probably the first one I knew was Squaresoft.
Before they merged with.
On PlayStation 1, Squaresoft. Like I was all about Squaresoft, and we had Final Fantasy, and then we had a couple of ones. We're on a tangent right now about
Dragon Quest.
Things. Yeah, I know. I never had Dragon Quest on PS1.
What a turd.
I never did. So, either way,
did you know Naughty Dog before the podcast?
Yeah.
Because you didn't. The Last of Us was the first Naughty Dog game you played, kinda. I mean, Crash Bandicoot and maybe Jak and Daxter.
I had Crash Bandicoot Racing, Crash Team Racing. I had that.
Yeah, but I mean, Naughty Dog. I think Naughty Dog made that, but it's not really like.
That's true.
Naughty Dog made this. I think The Last of Us was kind of the first one you played.
That's probably the first one where I realized it was Naughty Dog.
Yeah, but did you realize it was Naughty Dog, or just like this game is awesome, and a publisher made it, and then you're like, oh, Naughty Dog also made Uncharted, and people talk about Uncharted all the time.
I can't.
You can't remember back that far.
I can't remember specifically when I started realizing it was Naughty Dog. I want to say I remember when it was CTR Racing, because I remember being like, Naughty Dog, that's a weird name, because I remember it like naughty, like I was in fifth grade, so I was like
I think their old intro used to be like a dog inside of a wooden crate like you would find in Crash Bandicoot, and then the crate would be moving and shaking all about. You hear a dog barking. That used to be their old intro for Crash Bandicoot, because I played a lot of Crash, and then they made Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, I played Jak and Daxter 2, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, I hardly knew about Naughty Dog. I remember them being a publisher probably around Uncharted 2. I've played all their games, but I never I'm playing this game because it's Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm like, Naughty Dog's making something, I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just because we're older and we realize like, hey, like I can trust this publisher. Maybe it's from the amount of games we've played. Now we're like tired of getting burned by terrible publishers, and I want to do this. I don't know. Maybe it's because we have a podcast.
I do more research now than I did for the listener.
There you guys go.
What are we talking? Are we?
I think.
Is that all your thoughts on the trailer? You can get in the water in Red Dead Redemption 2. It looks like you can shoot. Dual wield.
You can dual wield. There's train heists. You seem like a bad guy in this one.
Here's the thing about the trailer. There's 2 different scenes of a train heist.
That's true.
There's one that you do with your cowboy gang at night. And there's another one that cuts to another scene, but it's in the middle of the day. And for some reason, I haven't seen a video where somebody explained that there's 2 different ones.
We haven't talked about how beautiful the game looks. It looked absolutely stunning.
They said it was captured on PS4.
It looked stunning, and the video we watched on YouTube pointed out influences from Western film, like Westerns. But man, I remember that from the first game. I remember how cool the map was. Do you think, exploring it and doing the hunting and all that stuff.
Do you think the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, assuming that it is going to be as popular as GTA 5, will influence Hollywood to make more Westerns?
No.
Do you think we're going to get a whole bunch of A- B+ movies that are Westerns because they saw how popular Red Dead Redemption was?
No.
Really? You think it's going to be a revival of the Western genre?
No. I don't think Hollywood is influenced in this, very minimally by video games, and I think it's because of how many times they've made video game movies and they've gotten burnt.
They're making more now than ever.
Yeah, and they keep getting burnt. And it's not like major Hollywood anybody. It's like EA hires somebody to make a game. As in, I'm thinking Assassin's Creed. Was it EA? Is that EA or is that Activision?
Ubisoft.
That's Oopsie-soft.
Oops, be soft.
So, and I guess Tomb Raider's coming out too, but I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Uncharted movie's coming out. Tom Holland's going to be young Nathan Drake in Uncharted movie.
Did they announce that?
Yeah. A couple months ago.
Where was that?
I don't know if we talked about it.
Probably can't. Never.
Never again.
Never again. Sorry, Dean. He's probably not still listening.
He quit a long time ago. I was going to demand that he played the beta with me last night. I saw him on.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd have been fun.
You listening, Dean? Play the Well, you won't be able to by the time this comes out.
We're done. We're done. This is the episode.
Yeah, so I guess we're done.
I mean, is there
Justin's out of energy.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Not
I just feel like we're all over the place now.
That's the whole plan.
And we're like talking to Dean specifically, and I don't know how many Deans we have listening.
At least
one.
You know who you are, Dean. And not Dean Fault, the other Dean. 2 Deans. Dean, Dean, Dean.
Dean, Dean, Dean.
Dean. Yeah, so you can find the Underpaid Gamers on Twitter at UPGamersPodcast. You can email us at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitch by looking for Underpaid Gamers. You can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes and Google Play Music and other podcast services by looking for our name. We're a website, underpaidgamers.com.
Mm-hmm. We have Clan of Destiny 2, which Tony, at least, will be actively playing until Call of Duty comes out. And I will be playing until I get burned out. So feel free to...
So before November.
Yeah, probably. So feel free to check us out. If you're playing and you don't have anybody, we'd love to have you.
On PS4.
On PS4. Yeah, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.